The Twins-Red Sox series brought to you by the local New England Honda dealers. Around here, we Honda. And on this Friday night at Fenway, the Red Sox play to avoid a 3-game losing skid. And they have the right man on the hill, Chris Sale, untouchable the last 6 or 7 weeks, taking on the Minnesota Twins. Thanks for being with us this Friday evening. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner, of course, is Jerry Remy. Tom Caron is on the sideline tonight. Rem, over the last several starts, last 5 outings, Chris Sale has been just about unhittable. He's allowed all of 1 run in that span.
Well, you know, Dave, every time he pitches, we have to come up with an open. And, of course, it's going to be about Chris Sale. And you're trying to think about something genius to say about him. And all he does is provide you with the information. It's simple. The last 5 starts for Chris Sale have been absolutely incredible. An 0.27 ERA. Look at the walks compared to the strikeouts. Only 4 walks and 57 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 157 against Sale. And tonight in this ball game, he should be well rested because last time out against Detroit, he only had to go 6 innings, 99 pitches because the Red Sox had a big lead in that ball game. So that's almost for him like getting an extra day off. So this should be something special like it always is every time he pitches here at Fenway Park.
You make a great point. You always look forward to it every 5 days.
Every 5 days you can't wait to see Chris Sale pitch.
And here he is tonight against the Twins. Last time he faced him, he struck out 11. When he takes the mound, the Red Sox very confident they are going to win the ball game. The 3 words that best describe him are filthy, nasty, dirty. Official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. To steal a line, the best or nothing. So we toss it down to Tom Caron. Mitch Moreland on the lineup tonight, TC.
No, not in the lineup tonight or last night, OB. And he didn't pinch hit. That had a lot of people scratching their heads last night. 9th inning, Fernando Rodney on the mound. And Moreland 6 for 10 lifetime with a couple of walks against Rodney. After the game last night, manager Alex Cora saying he's fine. I just didn't go to him. Today, a different story. The knee acting up a little bit. Alex Cora joined me on Friday night Fenway. And he said this first year of managing, he's been learning that fine line between being transparent with the media and giving away too much information to the opponent.
You got to be careful because I feel that if they know what was going on with some players and they're gonna be down when they're gonna use them, then it's to their advantage. They got a few lefties here. You can see that we're warning him. Duke was up yesterday with the righty, so it gives him options. So we're not going to lie, but we're going to be careful what type of information we tell the media because of the opposition. It's not that we're trying to hide something from the fans and the media.
Is he available tonight?
He's available.
We will see if he's available tonight as the Red Sox try to bounce back from back-to-back losses for the first time in more than a month. They've got the right guy on the mound to do it. Chris Sale makes the start on a Friday night here at Fenway Park. 6-1 with a 0.83 ERA in his last 8 starts. Dave O'Brien, Jerry Remy with the first pitch coming up next.
The official batting glove of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Choose Nissan today. Shop ChooseNissan.com. By KM. Together we grill. By your local New England Ford dealers. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Mookie Betts and the Red Sox taking the field behind Chris Sale, the tall left-hander on a Cy Young pace. And here's a look at the Twins lineup he'll take on tonight. Brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Jorge Polanco will lead things off. He's a shortstop. Eddie Rosario, the left fielder, has 19 home runs. He could be a problem. Brian Dozier, 16 of them. He's at second base. Garber doing the catching. Morrison at first. Adrianza at third base with Kepler in right field. Robbie Grossman is the designated hitter. And Jake Cave is in center field and batting ninth. Taking on the Red Sox starter, presented by your New England Audi dealers, Chris Sale, who has not allowed a run in 17 innings.
Now let's take a look at the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Southwest. They are second best in the American League, 48 errors on the season. Rafael Devers will be at third base, Xander Bogaerts the shortstop, Eduardo Nunez at second, and Steve Pearce at first. The left to right, Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts, and Sandy Leon doing the catching for Chris Sale.
Umpires tonight are brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. The umpire, Joe West, has the plate now in his 40th year as a big league umpire. Mark Ripperger at first base, Doug Eddings at second, Marty Foster at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Very warm night. 83 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Wind is out to left at about 12 miles per hour, but no rain in that forecast. They have rain tonight in New York. holding up the Royals-Yankees game, and also, guess where? Baltimore, Tampa Bay, and the Orioles. Also in a rain delay. Hitters dislike facing Chris Sale so much they get themselves traded an hour and a half before the game so as not to face him. The Twins have scratched their DH, Eduardo Escobar. They did that 90 minutes before the first pitch, and they have dealt him to Arizona for 3 minor leaguers. That deal had been in the works for a while, but they're a big bat down going up against the left-hander, and the first pitch is in there for strike 1, and we're underway. Escobar 15 homers, 63 RBIs, and leading the world in doubles. That's a big miss for them. Quickly 0-2 on Polanco.
Starting right out of the chute with a couple of fastballs from Sale. 97 miles an hour on the last one.
The left-hander leading the majors in strikeouts, 197 coming into play tonight. And the first one on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Just like that, 1 away.
Yeah, 2 fastballs on a slider to get the job done for the first strikeout of the night. There's the breaking ball right there. Last time out, he had 9 strikeouts in the game against Detroit. That was only in 6 innings.
Putting up the K's, 198 and counting. By the way, he's also the toughest pitcher in Major League Baseball to hit. He allows just a 180 batting average. That's the lowest in the game. And on and on and on it goes. Rosario late. That one 98 for strike 1.
Even with Sale on the mound, the Red Sox still going to a shift against Rosario. 3 players on the right side. Just Devers left on the left side of the infield.
And he goes the other way beautifully for a base hit. That'll roll into left field. So Rosario, going against that shift, went the other way for a single.
That's smart hitting, isn't it? You get 3 players on the right side, take it to the other side where there's nobody. Right to the shortstop, but the shortstop was in the shift, and Rosario does a nice job there picking up the base hit. That ball was down and in, and still able to move it to the opposite field.
You make a great point. It's one thing to want to do that.
Yes.
But to have the control of the bat to be able to do that against Chris Sale.
And especially on that type of pitch.
Well, many thought this was the guy who would be traded a couple of hours before the game, Brian Dozier, but he is still with the Twins. 228, 16 home runs. Runner at first, 1 down. The last time that he faced them, meaning Sale against Minnesota, he struck out 11, and they tried to go early against him like so many opponents do. They tried to swing the bat in that very first pitch.
Yeah, Dozier swinging at the first pitch. He's got 3 career home runs against Chris Sale.
And the 0-1 pitch from the 6'6 left-hander. Everything he's thrown so far is a strike, all 7. 0-2 on Dozier, who might be the next man to go. It feels like the deal to trade Escobar to Arizona was a white flag for the Twins.
Yeah, actually today I thought they were talking about maybe Dozier going because they waited a long time to get the lineup out.
0-2. That ran in on him at 99, and he fouled it away. Paul Molitor, the skipper. Even though they won last night, Minnesota is still 5 games under 500. Kyle Gibson was outstanding last night. I know there was a lot of talk about whether Mitch Moreland should hit for Jackie Bradley and the Red Sox bullpen. The story of that game was Kyle Gibson. Going 8 innings, 120 pitches. You just don't see anybody throw 120 pitches anymore. Runner goes, pop foul, back out of play.
Rosario at first base, 7 steals on the season. He was off on the 0-2 count. He's only been caught twice. There's Gibson, who pitched last night, and he did a really good job against the Red Sox offense. A lot of sliders down and away from right-handers. I thought he was excellent in that ball game last night. 120 pitches. When's the last time you saw that?
You come into Fenway Park against the top offense in the game, you hold him with 4 hits. Rosario, a very short lead at first now with one down. Here's the 0-2. Not running. Dozier, a good defender as well. He won the Gold Glove last year at second base in the American League. Out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Sale finally threw a ball. 10 pitches, 9 strikes. Down he goes, hacking. Dozier fans, there's number 2 tonight.
They had some pretty good swings fouling off the fastball. So what does Sale do? He goes back to the slider. 2 strikeouts in the game, both coming on the slider. That one down and in, right at the bottom of the strike zone inside.
Mika Insurance, great service, great coverage, great price for auto, home, and life insurance. So the next K will be the 200th of the season for Chris Sale. Comes in number 2 in the American League in ERA. Should say in the major leagues, number 2, number 1 in the American League. And back in safely, Rosario. Garber might be the hottest hitter right now. He's 8 for his last 13 with 3 doubles.
Sale's first changeup of the night at 87, just missing the outside corner.
Got Joe West behind the plate. Cowboy Joe West, who has cut at least one country music CD with Joe West as the lead vocalist. And the 1-0. That'll be in there for a strike. Joe has umpired 6 World Series in his long career.
That's a pretty good resume, isn't it?
Yep, and a long one. Made some huge calls in the Red Sox favor in the 2004 ALCS against the Yankees. 2 down, 1 on, and the 1-1. He's ahead of another hitter.
98. He starts him off with a changeup. He goes to a slider. Then he goes to the fastball upstairs with a 98.
1-2. Crowd buzzing, looking forward to the strikeout. Looking for his 3rd in the first inning. Foul tipped into the mid. He struck him out. Number 200 comes on a 99 mile-an-hour fastball. in American League history, breaks his own record. Red Sox lineup brought to you by Toyota's website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Betts, Benintendi, Martinez go 1, 2, 3. Then Bogarts, Pierce, and Devers. Nunez at second. Sandy Leon will be followed by Jackie Bradley in center field. Facing the right-hander Lance Lynn. He's 6'5", about 275 pounds. And you really have to be patient with him because he walks a lot of guys.
Yeah, 61 total on the season.
Mookie swinging to the first pitch, flies to right field. And Grossman underneath that.
Let's take a look at the Twins defense. They are 5th best in the American League, 52 errors on the season. A-Ray Adrianza at third base. Jorge Polanco, the shortstop. Brian Dozier at second. Logan Morrison, the first baseman. Left to right, Eddie Rosario, Jake Cave, and Max Kepler. And Mitch Garver doing the catching for Lynn.
Benintendi will climb in, hitting right at 300 with 14 homers, 61 RBI. Andrew, one of the guys who homered on Wednesday night in Baltimore, and then the game was postponed, and the numbers all get washed away. 0 for 3 last night. 0-2.
You know, last time Lynn faced the Red Sox, he won the game, but he walked 5 guys in that game against Boston. His high in the season is 6 walks.
And that was his last time out, a loss at Kansas City. Walking 6 men. The 8th time this year he's walked 4 or more in a start. Toward the middle, friendly bouncer for Dozier. 2 down. Our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Lance Lynn on the road. Look at that ERA, 7.58. 302 batting average against.
Yeah, Target Field has been much more friendly to Lynn than the road has.
Former St. Louis Cardinal. And now JD Martinez. JD's seen him before 14 times, and he has just 2 hits off him, so trying to solve him tonight. Giving a little something extra off that outside corner. Sox come in 71-33, a 4.5 game lead on the Yankees, who have not only lost catcher Gary Sanchez to the DL, but now all-star Aaron Judge, who suffered a chip fracture of his right wrist when he was hit by a pitch last night against Kansas City. He will not need surgery, but he can't swing a bat for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a long process.
That means he will miss the 4-game series next weekend.
26 home runs, 61 RBIs on the season. That's a tough injury. That's one that could affect you the rest of the year.
One-two to Martinez. Aaron Boone was talking about it yesterday. He said, you know, he might be able to start a little earlier than that, might be a little later. We're guessing 3 weeks, but no one knows for sure.
Yeah, and then you don't know what the residual effect's going to be, you know, after even you start swinging the bat. I mean, it's something that could, you know, Xander Bogaerts went through that last year.
Waiting on deck, 1-2. Will miss downstairs.
Dropped a big word on you right here in the first. Residual.
I caught that, and I was. It took me back a little bit.
Yeah. Did I use it in the right?
You did.
I did. Good. Good.
Right out of the gate like that, though, it kind of knocks me back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm well prepared for the ball game.
2-2. Socked into right field. A line drive. That's going to drop down for a base hit. JD Martinez, the first man to reach tonight for the Red Sox against Lynn.
Well, Martinez doing what he does. You know, take a line drive to the opposite field for the base hit. Stay away from the 1-2-3 inning. Fastball right down the middle of the plate, and JD on the line. We mentioned last night this outfield plays very deep for the Minnesota Twins, and Kepler was backing up a couple of steps to make that play on a bounce.
So send up Xander Bogaerts, 282 with 16 home runs. And 64 runs batted in. And didn't you think last night when he ripped that line drive against Fernando Rodney right up the middle to lead off the 9th inning, might be a golden ninth for the Red Sox. A comeback written all over, and the Red Sox would load up the bases, but did not tie up the ball game. Jackie Bradley fanned to end it. It was another walk on the wild side by Fernando Rodney.
Seems like it's always that way when Rodney comes into a game against the Red Sox.
Every time. Been that way for years. Doesn't matter which uniform he wears either.
Still getting it done, though.
Pierce on deck. Red Sox trying to do with 2 here in the first inning against Lynn. Xander facing a team he always seems to swing it well against.
And Lynn's fastball very good too at 96 miles an hour consistently here in the first inning.
No score, bottom of the first inning. One thing the Red Sox have been doing a lot of with Chris Sale on the mound lately, scoring runs. A lot of run support for the lefty. Certainly wasn't the case last year and for long stretches early this season, but it is now. Breaking ball, foul ball.
First breaking ball he's thrown the Bogarts, and it had Xander out on his front foot a little bit, but he able to make contact and pull it foul.
Lynn out of Indiana. Look at the splits home and road for Xander. His extra base hit rate is through the roof this year, especially the doubles. And a wave and a miss. That one fooled him down. He goes strike 3. Red Sox will strand 1. Major League Baseball should put restrictions on defensive shifts. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. I'd hate to see that.
No, I agree with you. You know how I feel about it. No, they shouldn't. I think they should leave it the way it is. Let them shift if they want. As long as they're in fair territory, hitters have to learn how to adjust.
Like Rosario did in first inning. You know, punching a base hit the other way. Here's Logan Morrison, the first baseman. Tonight we are saddened to learn of the passing of the legendary sportscaster and sports writer Clark Booth at the age of 79. That's a man a lot of us grew up watching and reading. A Holy Cross man. Clark not only covered Boston sports and the classiest way, but also the death of popes in Rome and space launches in Florida. A superb writer, TV journalist for Channel 4 and Channel 5. He was still writing a weekly column in the Pilot until this past January. Our sincere condolences to the Booth family. Clark, you will be missed. Two and two to count on Morrison. Adrianza on deck. Jam shot foul. That one came in on the knuckles.
Yeah, right in on the hands of Logan Morrison. Fortunate to make contact on that. Ooh. It's amazing that bat didn't break.
Yeah, I think that was what he was smiling about. Probably a bat he's fond of. And it didn't shatter there at the handle. He was lucky. Just inside. He had given up on that pitch, and the count goes to 3-2. And he's 5 for 15 with a home run against Sale. Unusual for a lefty hitter. Sale with 3 men in the first inning. Punch the other way. Here's Devers. He's deciding not to throw it. Probably a good decision there, and that'll be a base hit.
Well, maybe that's the game plan tonight for the Minnesota Twins. Go against the shift. Second time they've gone in that direction with the shift on, and of course, with Devers got this ball, he has absolutely no chance to throw out Logan Morrison at first base. That ball slicing away from Devers, and he's way over behind third base.
So their second hit. A-Ray Adrianza, the third baseman, hitting .252 with 4 home runs. He'll bat next. He's one of 3 switch hitters in their lineup tonight. Running up to bunt and looks at a strike. More on Chris Sale getting to 200 strikeouts, faster than anybody in American League history, breaking his own record set last year. And a special K for number 200. A strike, 0-2. Adrianza, switch hitter from Venezuela, former San Francisco Giant. Sale trying to make him his 4th K in the book tonight. And that's a beauty. A slider to catch him looking. He had no chance.
No, it's one that you just admire, you know, because you think it's going to be outside and you quit on it. And all of a sudden it's got enough sharp break on it where it comes back to pick up the outside corner. Beautiful pitch by Sale. And not much as a hitter you can do about that.
So Kepler will be next. 227, but you have to respect the power. He's hit 13 home runs. And he starts him off with the slider for strike 1. Kepler's parents were both professional ballet dancers in Germany. They consider him their best athlete on the club. 1-1. Sox up by 4.5 over the Yankees coming into play tonight. And again, their game against the Royals is in a rain delay in New York. Tried to hold up, but it's in there for a strike anyway. Didn't matter what he did on the swing. 1-2.
Going away to the outside corner with a slider this time is Sale. Just about unhittable pitch right there.
Morrison at first with 1 gone. No score, second inning. Foul tip to the mitt. A steady diet of nasty sliders, and he fans him. That's number 5.
You know, that's the thing about Sale is the fact that you go up there and you're thinking about 98, 99, and then he can drop the slider on you. He can drop the changeup on you. And he does that a lot early in counts because he knows guys are thinking about the fastball that he has, and they're trying to get all worked up for it early in the count.
Two down, Grossman, the DH, and they bat him 8th. Sale off the hill. He'll take it himself and gets to the bag in plenty of time to get those last 3 outs after the leadoff single. Nothing. Bottom of the second. Pierce and Devers and Nunez up against Lance Lynn. Gave up a first inning single to JD Martinez, but nothing came of that. Pierce .319 with 5 home runs. And last 9 games he's hitting .407. Getting another chance to play first base tonight against a right-hand pitcher. Bit of a sore knee for Mitch Moreland. That was the reason he did not appear as a pinch hitter last night. Alex Cora talked about it with Tom Caron before the game, and he said, you know, sometimes we have to withhold information. We're not trying to be untruthful to the media and to fans, but we're trying to protect our own strategy against the other guy.
Absolutely. You can't be coming out and telling everybody, you know, the whole team, the other team, you know, who's hurt, who's not available, and who's available tonight.
They had a left-hander available in their bullpen they could have used at any time. They might have chosen to use him because of the way Moreland, for example, handles Fernando Rodney, 6 for 10 in his career. In the end, it's no guarantee that Alex Cora was going to hit for Jackie Bradley anyway, regardless of who was not available. Bounding ball in the infield. Polanco will collect that and get it there in time to retire Pierce. Well, tomorrow is the 9th annual Run to Home Base here at Fenway to support veterans and their families. And for more on the event, TC with a special guest.
That's absolutely right, OB. General Jack Hammond runs the home base program that has grown so much over 9 years. It was a simple idea that our veterans need more help reintegrating and fighting those invisible wounds of war. How much has it grown over those 9 years?
It's gone amazing. When I first got here 6 years ago, we were seeing about 200-300 people a year. As we go into the next year, we move into our new national center, we'll be seeing about 1,500. those numbers speak for themselves.
And you said National Center. This has grown well beyond New England.
Over the past 18 months, we've seen veterans from 45 states across New England, and we still see a good 500, 600, 700 just from here in New England.
The big fundraiser tomorrow, the run to home base. Over $15 million been raised in the 9 years, and I think we're going to end up with our biggest fundraising effort yet this year.
This is the best one yet. It looks like it'll be about $2.5 million if everything comes in, and that really is a testament to the people from Boston and New England, and actually about 20 states now come here for this race, and they're all raising money, and they're doing it for one reason: to help make a difference in these guys' lives.
You and I have been up there on the stage for the ceremony over the last 6 years, and last year it was such a powerful moment when the crowd here welcomed home the veterans from the Vietnam War, many who never got that welcome. What do we expect tomorrow at the ceremony?
So this year we're recognizing another group that's kind of not recognized, and that's the families whose service members were either killed in action or died as a result of their wounds or suicide. And we'll recognize them on the field at home base tomorrow at the race, and then tomorrow night here at Fenway Park in a pregame ceremony, much like we did last year. We're going to bring 500 family members on through the center field wall to really honor their sacrifice, because they gave everything. I mean, when you give up the life of a family member, there isn't anything more valuable than that.
No doubt about that. All the money goes to the home base program. Runtohomebase.org is where you can find it. I'll see you here in the morning, General.
That's the best way to reach out to us if you want to support it. $10, $20, whatever you have, it'll all go towards care and making a difference in the lives of these people.
I've been over there. They do amazing work, guys, and General Hammond leading it. I can't say enough about what this program has done to our veterans coming home, and it'll be a special day here tomorrow, OB.
Be a wonderful, wonderful day. TC, General Hammond, thank you so much. Nunez the batter with 2 down. No score here in the second inning. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and TC on the side tonight. Eduardo 249 with 6 home runs. 304 lifetime against his former team, the Minnesota Twins. 1-2.
Right now, Lynn getting the job done basically with his fastball. 95 that time with the fastball. And so far in this game showing good control.
Yeah, 2 down second inning, and he really hasn't had any deep counts yet. Pretty well hit to center field. Cave has it measured, and that's all. The Red Sox go in order. Championship game 105. Red Sox beat Baltimore 7-3. Stephen Drew with home runs 6 and 7, and he drove in 5. Very big day. 13 team had many on their way to the World Series championship. Jake Cave will hit now, number 9 man, to lead off the 3rd inning. No score. The Yankees have been postponed tonight, rained out against Kansas City. It's happened to them a lot. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Let's hope that weather stays in New York and does not come our way.
Here, here. We've had enough lately.
Yeah, we've had our share.
Polanco on deck. Lofted foul. The Red Sox have won 6 more games than the Yankees. There's a difference of 3 in the loss column, but Yankees have lost a bunch of games to weather. Red Sox just lost 1 in Baltimore. 2-2 to count. Big crowd on a Friday night to see Chris Sale go after his 12th win. And a ground ball right to Xander Bogaerts. He'll hoover that up and gun him down. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for tickets to all Sox games and concerts at Fenway. The prices and service are better than you can imagine. Go to aceticket.com right now. Polanco 0 for 1. Recently came back after serving an 80-game suspension for violating Major League Baseball's Joint Drug Prevention and Treatment Program. He fanned to begin the ball game. And he's quickly in a hole here, 0-2. He can throw that slider 79 miles an hour and then come back at 99 if he wants to. .98.
You were way off that time, Dave. Only 98 that time instead of 99 with the high fastball.
I mean, that's just not fair. Almost a 20-mile-an-hour split.
This would be a good day off when I was playing, I tell you that.
This is the Chris Sale flu.
Yeah.
Rem's got a touch of the flu. Softly hit, line drive, but that'll find a home on the grass in left. Benintendi to scoop it up. And Polanco is on with their 3rd single tonight. This one coming 1 down, scoreless in the 3rd inning.
That ball actually got in on Polanco a little bit, but he's able to hit a line drive, a soft line drive out to left field. Nonetheless, he's at first base with 1 out.
Now a guy, and there aren't many who can say this, but he's a guy who gives Chris Sale some trouble. Rosario is now 6 for 14 off him. Base hit 1st inning. And again, there's a hole over there to the left side of second base. That's where he went with that base hit in 1st.
I'll say one thing about Rosario. He does not get cheated with his swings. He takes a full hack. There's Xander Bogaerts located on the second base side of second base.
He's hit the Red Sox pretty well. 306 lifetime against Boston. And a lefty with the 0-1. Chopper Devers scoops it into second, got 1 on the first, going to be close, safe. Could not turn the double play. Rosario gets up the line well, but it was close.
That's good hustle by Rosario getting down that first base line, because at first it looked like it was going to be a double play. But he clearly gets that foot to the bag before the catch by Pierce. And I don't think the Red Sox will take a look at that.
Nope, they will not. No challenge. But it is out number 2.
Bogaerts become the second baseman, the pivot man on that play. on the ground ball with Devers. A little different coming across from the second base side than shortstop.
And they'll send it Brian Dozier. He struck out first inning. Last 2 years, 76 home runs from this guy and nearly 200 RBI. Very productive, good pop in the bat, and that one gets right by Leon all the way to the backstop. That'll advance Rosario down to second. He will not try for third.
A change up this time, as you can see, it's never really going to be close, and just off the webbing of the glove of Sandy Leon, which moves a man in a scoring position at second base.
They'll call that a wild pitch. So a man in scoring position in the third, and he popped him up sky high. Sail in on the play, but here comes Pierce. Chris likes to field, but Pierce will make the catch to retire the side. One man is left.
For boot available at Men's Warehouse. Adam Pellerin, Tim Wakefield, and Steve Lyons will break down Chris Sale's start from tonight.
So far going very, very well. He's allowed 3 hits. Red Sox only have 1 so far against Lance Lynn. So the offense has been pretty quiet. Alex Spear is never quiet. We count on him to be a little noisy. In the booth with us right now from the Boston Globe. Great to see you.
That was kindly put of you. Thank you.
Well, we do what we can here with all of our guests. That one stung, knocked down by Morrison, but Sandy Leon will be put out at first base. 1 man gone. It's that wild and wacky trade season, and we saw it here today. Escobar on the way out.
Yeah, and with the Twins being kind of a little bit blindsided by it, Paul Molitor had the reporters in his office and found out as they were sitting there that trade had gone down. It is a kind of unsettling time for Major League Baseball teams. I was in the Twins clubhouse just last night, and Kyle Gibson was talking about how, well, we hope that we can make a case for the team not to be sellers at the deadline, that we can make a little bit of a push between now and July 31st. Instead, the sell-off starts, and there are a couple of pivotal teams in the whole trade deadline scenario. The Twins were one of them in terms of getting off the fence. The Washington Nationals are one of the more fascinating ones as they try to figure out whether or not they're going to be buyers or sellers for a couple of weeks. They've been scouting on both sides in order to figure that out. So there could be some late available players on the trade market.
Line shot and a base hit by Jackie Bradley. And I'm sure Jackie will be the first one to say it's one at bat too late.
Yeah.
After last night's strikeout with the bases loaded. It's interesting, you talk about the Twins wondering where they are. Should they be on the fence? Should they be sellers or buyers? Several games under 500. Last year, they traded off a bunch of players and then made a run and got into postseason play.
Yeah, they were all over the place last year because you'll remember that they added players, then they subtracted players, and then they went on the run.
Right.
So it's a really hard time of year to read. I'm reminded of 2012 when the Red Sox were kind of on the fence about whether or not they were buyers or sellers. Remember, they were only a handful of games out in the wild card in that Bobby Valentine year, and then things really they basically stood pat at the deadline. The wheels fell off in August, and then that's when that massive Crawford, Gonzalez, Beckett trade to the Dodgers happened. I do think that you can see in this market, in this baseball landscape, you can see a lot of movement in August. We saw it last year when you had big names like Verlander and Upton moving at the August 31st deadline, bigger names that moved at the July 31st deadline. There are possibilities of that happening again this year.
Mookie Betts cuts and misses. He's 0 for 1.
With that said, Alex, we had a poll question a couple of days ago, and it said, should the trade deadline be moved back a little bit? Because, now with the wild card, it's a whole different ball game. You can go a little bit deeper to see if you've got an opportunity maybe by mid-August, and then, then have the sell-off or whatever you're going to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a really hard thing for a team to think that they're, to think that they're in it, and then, kind of put their eggs in the buy basket, and then all of a sudden, it changes their future quite a bit. And it does give teams that make those late surges, like the Twins, a little bit more hope if they're able to add on. But again, the increased movement that we're seeing in August may help to offset that a little bit.
Mookie's fly to right 0 for 1 as we chat with Alex Spear of the Boston Globe. No score in this one. Healthy cut, but a foul back. Dave Dombrowski has the reputation, and it is well earned, of making big deals. I mean, big splash deals at the deadline. Do you think another one's coming?
I don't see a big deal coming at the trade deadline for the simple reason that in order to be kind of in the mix on a blockbuster, first of all, there would have to be teams that were making players worthy of a blockbuster available. We haven't seen a lot of that thus far this year. Secondly, given the state of the Red Sox farm system, where their top prospects have questions surrounding them. Jay Groom is coming off of Tommy John surgery. No one's seen him pitch in a long time. Michael Chavis had a PED suspension early in the season, so teams are kind of on the fence about where their evaluations are with him. They don't really have the right prospects to anchor a quote-unquote blockbuster unless it was to take from the major league level, and the Red Sox really don't want to do that.
Yeah, Cora said it just the other day. He said the Red Sox really like the core. They don't want to mess with that at all. Yeah,
they don't want to trade Rafael Devers, who's a really important person for them this season and for 5 seasons to come based on what he represents. Potentially a middle of the lineup staple who's also going to be quite inexpensive, which allows them to afford big ticket items elsewhere as Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, and other players become really expensive.
1-2, tag foul by Mookie. Benintendi on deck.
In some ways, one of the more interesting ones that's changed on the Red Sox is Blake Swihart, who looked like he had a chance to be a trade chip on July 31st. He's instead become a pretty important part of the day-to-day Major League club by virtue of Christian Vazquez's injury. And all of a sudden in the last, I feel, week or two, we've seen Blake Swihart playing as well as at any point since 2015.
I would agree with that. And with that said, do you think the Red Sox should be in the market for another catcher in case there's another injury to St. Leon or Swihart?
I think that there's a pretty decent confidence. I think that there aren't a ton of catchers who are going to be available, right? And Martin Maldonado moved to the Astros. That was very interesting. That was as if the Astros were focused on shutting down the Red Sox running game in October. But I don't think there's a ton of catching that is available. And right now, there's a pretty high confidence that Vazquez will come back next month, and so they should still have a three-catcher group available to them later in the season.
And not many catchers out there who can swing the bat either and help you offensively to count 2-2.
Yeah, that's what we've seen from it. Alex Cora talked about it today. Everything that he's doing looks a little bit more confident right now. You saw the way that he was calling for breaking balls in the dirt yesterday and doing a really good job of smothering them, keeping them around the plate. That was one of his shortcomings earlier in his catching career. He had some lack of confidence at times on calling those breaking balls in the dirt. He would call a lot of elevated fastballs.
Broken back ground ball, third baseman Adrianza into second to cut down Jackie Bradley. They get a little tangled up, but that's an out. And so there are 2 gone as Betts will become the runner at first. On the fielder's choice, and Benintendi will be next. That'll be fascinating to see if the Red Sox do have something else up their sleeve for one of those things that, you know, maybe a perceived hole. We'll see what the bullpen holds for the Red Sox the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think that there are going to be a lot of arms available who are kind of rental arms, guys who are, you know, guys who represent upgrades. I think that the Britons of the world, the Zach Britons of the world, the Familios of the world have already moved. Those are probably the high end of what's going to move. Brad Hand, a controllable guy who required a top prospect. But there are going to be other relievers moving, and I very much expect the Red Sox to be involved in that market as they are. Alex Cora has even admitted it yesterday in being asked, do you have enough in the bullpen? You know, do you have enough in your bullpen right now? He said, that's an interesting question, rather than just a definitive yes.
It feels like, though, the Red Sox have gone out and acquired a power arm in Brazier. There goes the runner. Mookie trying to take off here. The throw will skip into the outfield. He holds up at second base. He'll slow to rise there. He has a theft of second. Did not take off for third, but he's down in a scoring position.
That's a very good jump at first base. You can see right here as he was gone and he slides in. I don't think he knew where the baseball was. He's looking back toward home plate and the ball's out in center field. That's when he could have ended up on third base, but he had no idea where the ball had gone. He was concentrating on making contact with that second base bag.
So Benintendi with a chance at an RBI, trying to put the Red Sox in front here in the 3rd inning. He is grounded to second. 19 stolen bases for Mookie Betts. We're talking about Brazier, though, and guy throwing 97, 98 feels like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, what a great find for the Red Sox. He wasn't even signed at the start of spring training. Ended up offering teams kind of an open audition by his home. And the Red Sox said, yeah, sure, we'll take a minor league flyer, but it was without an invite to major league camp. But he kept being invited over to big league games during spring training, opened some eyes with the stuff there, and continued in Pawtucket. And certainly now here.
And getting bigger and bigger innings to work, too.
Yeah, the fact that yesterday, yeah, you would typically have been used to in the first half, Joe Kelly warming up somewhere in there, and you instead saw Brazier warming up next to Barnes in the 8th inning.
Right.
He's moved up the totem pole.
8 scoreless innings for him. ERA of 0.00. Here's the 3-1. Big hack there and just got a piece of it.
Sometimes found money is a pretty big difference maker when it comes to postseason bullpens. It's such a strange and hard thing to build a bullpen for the postseason. Historically, it's been Dave Dombrowski in his many postseason appearances. There have been some issues with bullpen building that have limited what some of his teams eventually ended up doing. But I feel like in 2016, the Red Sox were able to kind of find the right complementary addition with a guy like Brad Ziegler. Last year, Addison Reed was an important addition to give them a little bit of 8th inning stability where they had been struggling. That kind of guy is going to be available. Heck, Ziegler is going to be available from the Marlins again this year. And there are those upgrades, whether it's Brazier or, shoot, Brandon Workman, now that he's down in Pawtucket. You know, he could end up coming back if more power comes back to his game. Thornburg. There are a lot of moving parts to bullpen building. And
then you also have the fact that a couple of starters are going to end up in the bullpen in the playoffs.
That's a great point. That's a great point. That's such the state of baseball right now, where you're seeing those power arms being moved over for a couple of innings of work.
This will be popped into left short. Rosario coming over with time. Makes the catch. Nathan Eovaldi may be one of those guys, you know?
Exactly.
Throwing 98, 99. Great to see you again.
Good to see you guys.
Alex Spear. No score in this one. For 4 generations, KM has been locally crafting quality Franks for all Sox fans. Pick up KM Fenway Franks at your grocer today. KM, together we grill. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Tom Carroll with you from Fenway. Scoreless after 3. And Chris Sale with 5 Ks so far tonight. Last 8 starts, he's gone 6-1. Minuscule ERA of 0.83. And he's only walked 10 batters over those 8 outings. Garver 0 for 1. Casey will be along with our social drive in just a moment. And a strike at 97. I mentioned this before that Sale has been getting run support his last 4 outings. Over that span, he's won games 11-0 against the Yankees, 10-5, and 9-1. And a 1-2. Logan Morrison on deck. He has one of their 3 singles so far against Sale. 2-2. And a fly ball to left field. Benintendi to the track, turning around. He's got it in front of the American League scores for the first out here in the 4th inning. Time now for our social drive, brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. And here's Casey.
Celtics forward Jaylen Brown taking part in the Junior NBA Indonesia National Training Camp, long name. He's doing some martial arts training out there in his spare time, and he's also showing the world that he can crush a baseball ahead of the trade deadline, no less. Red Sox replying, "Want to bat 10th?" You need to head to the team's Twitter to see the video. It is awesome, and that is your Ram Social Drive.
And somebody with a good sense of humor there. Want to bat 10th. Morrison 1 for 1 with a base hit. Left-hand hitter that typically the Red Sox have done good work against. Just .221 in his career against Boston. He signed very late in spring training. A lot of guys did, including J.D. Martinez. And tonight's starter from Minnesota, Lance Lynn. Exhibition games had already begun by the time he inked his contract. A highly unusual offseason.
Yeah, it certainly was. A lot of guys had to wait a long time to get jobs.
Morrison, one of those. He has hit 12 home runs, trying to go up the middle, but Xander Bogaerts will scoop that and fire on to get him by a step. 2 away.
Yep. Bogaerts had to rush out a little bit. I think he was surprised when he looked up and Morrison was that far down the first base line. And Xander in the shift, he makes the play, and then he peeks up and he says, wait a minute, oh, I got to hurry this up. He's getting down the line pretty good. They get him at first base by a half a step. That's good hustle by Logan Morrison.
But 2 down. Adrianza is 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Sale looking to breeze here in the 4th. So he's thrown 52 pitches and 41 are strikes. That is 79%. It's going to dip downstairs to make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Maybe if we get a chance, we can put that graphic up we used in the open in case you missed the open. And it just goes to show you what he's done in his last 5 games, how incredible it actually is. Take a look at it. I mean, these numbers, I mean, they're crazy. An 0.27 ERA, 4 walks, 57 strikeouts. And he's only allowed 18 hits in 33 innings coming into the game tonight. That's unbelievable.
1-2. Tried to check his swing. They do appeal. No swing according to Ripperger at first base.
I think Chris thought he had the outside corner on that one, but just missed, just a little bit outside. Trying to go backdoor with that breaking ball.
Just to show you another thing too, you got to be here for the open. I don't always make it, but that one's going to just miss. He thought he had that one, but that is off the corner.
That's when we do our best work, really, is in the open.
No question.
Spent hours and hours preparing for it.
It is a big production value event. Here's the 3-2. And he's walked him. And you see how angry Sale gets when he walks a man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure angry covers it.
And two guys at the Red Sox staff that just despise walking people, Porcello and Sale. Yeah, no explanation there needed.
Just his 11th walk in his last 9 starts. Kepler to batter. He's 0 for 1. He whiffed the first time up. A base runner with 2 away. That one runs in off the bat. He goes down in a little bit of pain here. And Kepler is off to first base, a hit batsman. So that's going to put runners at first and second.
I think the Red Sox may want to take a peek and see if this hit the bat or the hand. It's tough to tell whether it got his top hand or the bat.
Yeah, the Sox are not going to challenge.
Apparently got that top hand, and it's hard to fake something like that.
Yeah. And first thought maybe off the hand, but Joe West thought it got the bat. That'll hold up. So first and second, a walk and a hit batsman brings up Grossman, who's 0 for 1. He has grounded out to first. So 2 on and 2 out, scoreless here in the 4th. Twins without a key bat tonight, and now for the rest of the season. They traded Eduardo Escobar right before the game, their cleanup man in DH. 15 homers, 63 driven in. They dealt him to Arizona for 3 prospects. That's a strike.
Staying with that slide and trying to get it back, and he did that time. Right back to the bottom of the strike zone.
Adrianza and Kepler aboard. So decent speed out there. The 1-1 fouled off. This is a 4-game series. Game 2 tonight. Game 3 tomorrow night, 7:10. Rick Porcello against Jake Odorizzi, former Tampa Bay Ray. And Nathan Eovaldi will make his Red Sox debut on Sunday afternoon at 1:05. And the Phillies come in. Crowd would like another K in the book. This would be number 6 if he gets it here. Two and 2 with 2 out. And now Grossman wants time. He gets it from Joe West. Adrianza at second. Kepler leading off first base. Chris Sale slowing down that tempo with a runner in scoring position in a 0-0 game. And now time granted again.
fans are booing Grossman. It was actually Sandy Leone that called time that time. Sometimes catchers forget the sign they put down.
2-2 coming. Left it low. So the runners will get a head start now with 2 away and a full count on Grossman. It's easily the roughest inning of the night so far for Chris Sale. He got the first 2 men pretty quickly, but a walk and a hit batsman. And they've got a couple of men on. Here's the payout pitch. Try to hold up. They appeal. No swing, and the bases are going to be loaded. He's walked another man, his second in the inning. And they are all filled up now for Minnesota.
It looked like that first walk ticked him off so much he hasn't been quite the same since. The hit batter, and now another walk. 2 walks in 1 inning and a hit batter for Chris Sale. There's not been a hit in this inning.
Very unusual for Chris, who ranks second in the majors with a whip of 0.87. That's walks and hits to innings pitched. Only Verlander has a better one at 0.85. But they're all loaded up now for Cave, who is 0 for 1. Starts him in 99, but outside, ball 1. He's thrown 22 pitches in this inning. So a little bit off in the 4th inning for the first time tonight. From the wind. He misses again, and it's 2-0.
That's 2 fastballs he's yanked a little bit to the outside part of the plate. Off the outside part of the plate. Adrianza, Kepler, Grossman. Bases loaded.
The 2-0 pitch. Going after it, and he knocks it foul. Got the fastball. Cave, a rookie, made his major league debut on May 19 against Milwaukee. Finds himself here in late July, facing Chris Sale at Fenway with the bases loaded. And it's 2-2.
And to get him back on track, 2 fastballs right down the middle of the plate, both of them fouled off.
Does he go back fastball?
Yeah, he might drop a breaking ball on him.
Oh, use 2 hands. You're going to make the play.
Yeah, that's good teaching right there. Good teaching tool.
2 down, bases jammed. Crowd rising up around Fenway. Tried to hold and looked like he did, and yes he did, so that's going to fill up the count.
Yeah, he did try the breaking ball that time and again missed outside. No swing as we take a look at the side. Good call.
Well, first real drama tonight. A full count. Bases are juiced. 2 down. Off the end of the bat, fouled it away. He's barely alive.
That's a pretty good job too right there by Kay, because you know 3-2 count, bases loaded, crowd on his feet. You think it's going to be a fastball. He doesn't get it, gets a breaking ball and just fouls it off. He was fooled on that pitch, but he's able to make contact.
Once again on 3-2. Runners go. A shattered bat and another one off to the left foul. As he hangs in there somehow.
Back to the fastball inside that time and the broken bat. So pretty good battle going on right here.
The rookie against the Cy Young favorite. Adrianza at third, Kepler at second, Grossman at first. No score. Three-two again. Hey, got him! Struck him out! 97 to blow him away and leave him loaded. Out of a bases loaded jam by picking up his 6th K, striking out Jake Cave, who gave him a pretty good battle. Fly ball into right center field, but not deep. Coming on Kepler to put that away. JD Martinez is 1 for 2 tonight. Xander Bogaerts will be next. TC is somewhere in the ballpark, I believe, up in the monster seats, Tom.
Yeah, OB, we're up here with the Boston K-Men, who, of course, hang the strikeouts every time Chris Sale is on the mound. Had a special moment in the first inning. That third strikeout of the first inning was the 200th of the year. That's why they had the special K card ready for that, and they hung it up. And then the crowd was just going wild with the bases loaded when he got that last strikeout of K. I got to do the honors, which was pretty cool. Boston K-Men have T-shirts and caps like the one I'm wearing. They're on sale. You can find them. Go on their Twitter at Boston K-Men or Google Boston K-Men, because I can't remember their website, even though they told me a few times what it is. All the money's going to the Jimmy Fund, and of course, we've got the Jimmy Fund Telethon coming up on NESN August 21st and 22nd. Our coverage of the WEEI NESN Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon is presented by Arbella Insurance Foundation. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. We're here to have a good time with the K-Men. OB, back to you.
You get to keep the lid, TC?
Negotiations continue.
I figured.
Remember that website, you'll keep the hat.
Yeah, see, if I could figure that out, they probably would have given me something free, but I botched that. So
Xander Bogaerts wailing away. He struck out first time up. No score, 4th inning. And Lance Lynn working against his resume this season. He hasn't walked anybody.
No, he's been coming right after hitters with the fastball mostly tonight and a few breaking balls.
And Xander Bogaerts kind of tied up in knots against him this evening. He fans for the 2nd time.
Yeah, 2nd time he's got him on that slider. Back in the first inning, the slider almost the exact same location off the outside part of the plate. Last 2 pitches, the 3rd and 4th pitch right there. You know, for the novice baseball fan, and you know, it sounds crazy for me to say this, but for those who don't watch a lot of baseball and just starting to watch it, when you look at the K's up there, The ones that look like Ks are swinging Ks. The ones that are backwards are third strikes that have been taken.
That's going to be a hit batsman. Yep. I like those little tutorials. Every once in a while you'll drop in there because, you know, there's an assumption on our part that everyone has watched baseball their entire life. And in New England, Red Sox fans, that's largely true.
Well, yeah, you know, most people out there saying, okay, Jerry, shut up, we know. But the fact is there are people who are watching who have not watched baseball before. And
the simple fact of the matter is more younger people in a younger demographic are watching the Red Sox this year than they have in years. And that's a fact. So you're right about that. Not everyone's seen baseball for many years, and there's so much to learn about the game. We're all still learning.
Learn something every night about this game.
You really do. You know, that's not a cliche. That's absolutely true. Rafael Devers 0 for 1. He's grounded out. Pierce just got hit.
7-year-old. Can't see the rest of it, but maybe it's a birthday.
Something about Jerry, though. 7 years old and would like a visit to the booth if you have snacks.
Well, if that's the case, come on up. But, you know, I'm sure they'll let you up here. Sign the card for her. Sign the poster, right?
Sure. Nothing game in the fourth. Red Sox facing a tough customer tonight in Lance Lynn. At least he has been this evening. He came in with a 5.23 ERA. Red Sox haven't been able to do anything with him yet. Runner taken off. There's the throw. That's off into the outfield. Pierce is going to stay put to second base, but he gets down into scoring position.
Boy, those throws so far from Garver behind the plate, they've been all over the place. The one that Betts stole second base on was not a good throw. This really never should have happened. That's just a poor throw right there. Good throws got him at second base. So the Red Sox get a man in scoring position on the bad throw by the catcher.
And technically a wild pitch to get him down to second. But a base hit could bring him in. And Lynn with a 2-2, 2 down. Up the middle, but caught. Polanco right there on to first base to get him. And that will retire the side. The Red Sox will leave a runner in scoring position. For every Red Sox hit in July, Echo Store Technologies donates $50 to the Massachusetts Down Syndrome Congress, ensuring that people with Down syndrome are valued. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. No score to the 5th. Only 5 hits of the game. Minnesota has 3 of them. Last inning was a rare struggle for Chris Sale. All with 2 down. He walked a man, hit a batter, walked another one. And then Cave, the number 9 man, gave him a long at bat before he fanned. So now it's top of the order, and Polanco's gone 1 for 2. Rosario on deck, and then Dozier. 1, 2, and 3 for the Twins. And down goes Polanco. Hack it away as he'll fan. 1 away.
That second time he's got him tonight on that slider. That time that slider down and in on Polanco. So the strikeout to end last inning. Now another swing strikeout. So the K will go up as a normal K. There it goes.
7 of those tonight. Eddie Rosario has not struck out. He has singled and hit into a fielder's choice. This guy's good power as he looks at a strike. Already twice in his career he's had a 3 home run game, most recently against Cleveland back in June, including a walk-off home run in the 9th inning. Flicks that one foul. Every time a Red Sox pitcher strikes out a Twins batter, Lexus will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. And the 0-2 from the lanky lefty. Popped him up. In comes Pierce. And he's there for the catch. 2 gone.
Do you want Bruins Fan Fest to visit your hometown? Tell us why using hashtag Bruins Tour on Twitter or Instagram for your chance to win the Bruins Fan Fest contest and bring the Bruins to your hometown.
Dozier has punched out and popped up 0 for 2. He has hit 3 career home runs against Chris Sale. He deals strike 1. 71% of the time the 6'6" left-hander has thrown a strike tonight. Yankees postponed their game early against Kansas City. Guess what? The Orioles haven't, even though they have rain against Tampa Bay. The 1-1. That looked like a swing and a miss. It was, and the count 1-2. Now Chris got 2 fast outs last inning. Then he ran into some trouble. Trying to make sure that doesn't happen here in the 5th. 1-2 to Dozier. Fouled back. Boy, it would be hard to think that the Twins would hang on to Brian Dozier. Last year of his contract. Clearly starting to rebuild. They dealt a key man away today in Escobar to Arizona. That was only about hour and a half before the game. He was in their original lineup tonight. 2-2. But it is that time of the year.
A lot of uncomfortable players around right now. You know, as you get close to that deadline, you really, it's talked about quite a bit in clubhouses. Not so much in the Red Sox clubhouse where they're having success, but teams that are not.
2-2, and he buried him 97 miles an hour to fan Dozier for the 2nd time. Bogart's bobblehead. It's the second in a series of 3 splash bobbles this season. Presented by Coca-Cola. For tickets and more info, go to redsox.com/promos. We're at the midway point. Neither side has crossed the plate yet.
So it's cotton candy. Get a cotton candy. I'd like to see her come up here.
We're on the 5th level, by the way. The press box.
Let's get an escort.
Sure.
Bring her up.
Pick up that cotton candy on the way. Nunez flies that one. That's well hit toward left, toward the monster, and it's off the green. Little bobble by Rosario. Nunez taken out for second. In there, standing up, and the Red Sox have a man in scoring position right away here in the 5th inning.
Well, Nunez line shot off the wall, bobbled a little bit out there by Rosario. Had he not bobbled this ball, it might have been close at second base. That fastball's inside and cleaned out by Eduardo Nunez. And then he gets, you know how tight he gets into the wall. He's on the warning track, and sometimes those bounces come very quickly back to you when you're that close. Could not handle it clean a couple of occasions, and no problem for Nunez going in standing up at second base.
16 doubles for Eduardo. And right away, the Red Sox have a man at second base against Lynn. The batter will be Sandy Leon, who's 0 for 1. He's grounded to first base. If he does that again, the Red Sox will have a man at third. Hitting .228 with 4 home runs. He's hit Minnesota well in his career, to the tune of .372.
Again, we mentioned, you know, deep in all parts of the outfield for the Minnesota Twins in this series, and very deep is Rosario in left field.
Leon, the switch hitting catcher, with Jackie Bradley on deck, and now Lynn will step off. There's a much different, much slower tempo with runners on base. And a 1-0 around the outside. He hasn't walked anybody yet. He has hit a batter.
Some guys just more comfortable in this ballpark. You know, it's just funny how guys play. You know, guys that don't like to go back on the ball, they play deep. They know anything over their head's going to be off that wall. Some play shallow to take away singles.
Lynn's 2-0. He swings away 95 miles an hour, but barely in the strike zone, and it's 2-1.
And then there was Manny Ramirez, who played 20 feet behind second base at times. It got so ridiculous they had to remind him that left field was out about 50 more feet.
Yeah, a little further back. There's a drive out to right field. That'll advance the runner. Kepler with a catch, tagging up Nunez safely into third base, and the Red Sox have a man 90 feet away.
Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. Adam Peller and Tim Wakefield and Steve Lyons will preview tomorrow's matchup between Jake Odorizzi and Rick Porcello. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Bradley with a base hit first time up, ripped it to left field. So Jackie 1 for 1, hitting .210. .288 in his last 23 games. The infield is in. So they will try and cut down Nunez at home plate, and that'll be strike one. Mookie Betts on deck.
Just going to think about a ball that you can get in the air. Something that's a little bit up in the strike zone that you can lift.
Trying to break through and get on the board. Red Sox were held to just 1 run last night. Nothing yet tonight into the 5th inning. So unusual to see this offense particularly here at Fenway Park. Not produce a bunch of runs, but almost nothing the last couple of nights.
Carlos Fable's trying to get that sign, getting Jackie's attention right there, and now always a vocal sign to the man at third base in these possible squeeze situations.
One.
You'll see walk up, get the sign, give the sign, walk over to Nunez and verbally give him the sign of what's going on in this particular pitch.
I'm buying you dinner the rest of the season if he drops down a bunt. Infield in tight, 1 down to 2-1. And a high fly ball left center field. That's deep. Rising up to the wall. It is gone. Jackie Bradley launching a 2-run homer, and the Red Sox have the lead. Number 8 for JBJ into the monster seats.
Now, Jackie recently has been taking advantage of home runs to the opposite field. We saw one in Detroit. We see one now. Fastball away. Does not try to pull it. Gets a good ball that he can get in the air, and he gets it deep enough. So the message that was given to Nunez at third base was he's going to hit a home run in this pitch. Don't rush.
Take your time.
Yes.
Red Sox up 2-0. So Jackie 2 for 2. He's hit the ball hard on both occasions. He's driven in 38 runs now, and the Red Sox break through at last. And for every Red Sox homer, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital through the end of August. Use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase 3 cooler beverages and receive 1,000 bonus points. Mookie's gone 0 for 2. He's flied out, and he's hit the ball on the ground. He did not reach base last night. That snapped a season-high 24-game streak, which began on June 26th. Now the comforts of home, brought to you by Bernie and Phil's. Mookie in the month of July at Fenway, $437. And right now at Bernie and Phil's, you can save with a double tax discount. No minimum purchase required. Three and one. There are a bunch of Red Sox in this lineup who have hit Minnesota quite well, and Mookie is one of them, as you might bet. 326 lifetime against them. One man out, good count. And he'll take ball 4. Boy, I would have bet you almost anything that Lance Lynn would have walked a couple of guys before the 5th inning.
Yeah, he was, throwing a lot of fastballs for strikes. His breaking ball was good. He was getting him to chase. Right hand is off the plate. And Jackie got a nice pitch to left. The fastball that was a little bit away from him, did not try to pull it, and takes it up into the monster seats.
Benintendi next. He's 0 for 2 so far tonight with a ground out and a fly out. Red Sox ahead 2-0 on the blast by Jackie. And now Mookie Betts on with 18 stolen bases. Again, Betts will dive back in safely. Lynn trying to keep him tight to the bag. Martinez on deck. Andrew now sitting at 298. 14 home runs. Third throw over, and he's back.
Trying to take a little spring out of the legs of Mookie Betts at first base. 3 in a row.
Well, I'm a big fan of those red shoes.
Yeah, they look sweet. little personality in baseball now. You know, guys using different colored shoes.
Yep. Absolutely. I think that's a good thing.
Everybody had those black ones for a long time until the Oakland Athletics went to white shoes, and it was like everybody was going, wow, look at this. What is this?
And those were really cool.
Yeah.
And everybody looked fast.
But at the time, people didn't think so. I mean, other teams didn't like them.
1-0 will lay off. That's outside.
Now you got shoes you can wear at home. You got shoes you can wear on the road. Get the gray with the gray.
Mookie's are really cool as Red Sox go with the red tops on Friday night. So the shoes matching the tops. He runs, and it swung on, just got a piece of it, fouled it away.
Well, that'll be the next thing that will be traveling with us. There'll be a fashion consultant for dressing for the games.
Yet another one. Baseball's become pretty staff heavy because there's so many specialists now, and to help players be better. Red Sox have an outstanding training staff, just outstanding, and full support for this team. Here comes the 2-1, and he left it up. So a hitter's count for Andrew Benintendi. Red Sox ahead 2-0. Jackie Bradley has found the monster seats with a 2-run blast. And the Sox have the lead for the first time against Lance Lynn and Minnesota. Here goes Betts again. Ground ball rattled to Dozier. So he'll stay out of a double play. Down to second, Mookie Betts, and there are 2 gone.
Tune in tonight to NESN's news coverage. You get the latest on all the action across the league. The Major League Baseball trade deadline is 4 days away. NESN's news coverage of the MLB trade deadline is brought to you by Cross Insurance, where security meets strength. We have a guest in the back of the booth that's waiting for this inning to come over. They found the girl with the sign.
Your fan.
Yes.
So we're going to find out if she got any cotton candy. And if not, when are you going to purchase that for her?
Oh, I will.
Martinez a single and a fly to right, and pops a foul out of play for strike 1. So JD is on base again. There you go. There's your man.
Does it have a price on there?
Is it negotiable? Can we talk that down a little bit? Bogart's next, runner at second, and Mookie Betts as Martinez is eyeing his 86th RBI. 4 1/4. Yep, 425.
Well, she hasn't had one. She's going to have one when she leaves the booth.
Here's pitch number 80 from Lance Lynn. He's lost a little steam in this inning, but a cut and a miss, and that curveball was nasty.
That's been a good pitch for him tonight against the right-handers. It's got Bogarts a couple of times on it. You don't see JD get fooled very often, and he was on that last pitch.
Well, he's been on in 41 consecutive home games, JD Martinez, after his base hit first inning. That squirts away, and Mookie Betts is going to advance. He's down to third and stopping there on what will probably be a wild pitch.
Tried to snap off the breaking ball right there and deflects to the left of Garver, the catcher, and Betts moves up to third base.
Now Lynn allowed a leadoff double to Nunez. Jackie Bradley with a 2-run homer. Then he walked Mookie Betts, who is now standing at third. Veteran right-hander with a long look in, picks one out, and the 1-2. Apparently that miss, Joe West, looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, I think JD got away with one right there. That fastball looked like it had the bottom of the strike zone, but Martinez still at the plate.
JD number 2 in the majors in slugging percentage at .640. The only man he trails is at third base for the Red Sox right now, Mookie Betts. And that's fouled into the mitt and held by Garver, but the Red Sox get 2 to lead it 2-0. And Jerry with you, also a special guest.
Cali, right? Where you from, Cali?
Massachusetts.
And what city in Massachusetts?
Norwell.
Now I got a question for you. Did you get your cotton candy?
Yes.
You want another one? What do you think? Yes or no?
Yes.
There you go.
This is Bob, Callie's dad, right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's going to have another one. Why? You can't come to a Red Sox game and not have at least 2 cotton candies, right?
Right. That's the rule. Yeah.
You happy the Red Sox are winning? Yeah.
Did you get Jerry to sign your sign? Okay. Where is that sign, by the way? That was well played, Bob, by the way.
There you
and
go.
Callie. Jerry, 7 years old, first game. P.S. Tell my dad to get me a cotton candy. So that's done. That was pretty cagey. Does your dad do everything you want? Yeah. Is he a great dad? Yeah, I can tell. I can tell.
Well, thanks for coming up.
Thanks for coming up,
And
Kelly.
thanks for the sign, and I hope you enjoy your second cotton candy of the night.
Yeah, Dad'll be thrilled.
You'll be up all night,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Great to have you. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks.
All right.
Callie, cute as a button. And about to be all loaded up on cotton candy, as that's pop foul out of play by Garver, who has gone 0 for 2. Red Sox ahead 2-0. If we started something we can't go back on now, I mean, if
Well, it depends how long the money.
I noticed you're working in that wallet pretty deep there.
I mean, that bank account isn't real deep.
That'll be a new nest and expense. Here comes the 3-2 to Garver. Shortstop Xander Bogaerts in, up and over, and got him. One man away. No, she's adorable.
It's great to see the young fans come into the ballpark, and they're coming in droves this year.
Batter will be Morrison, who is 1 for 2 with a base hit. Yep, young fans everywhere. Many of them for the first time, like Cali here at Fenway Park.
They like this team.
And like to be on TV. Sale with a 1-0 and punched in there at 95. Chris Sale became the first Red Sox pitcher to start multiple All-Star games, and only the third major league pitcher ever to start 3 years in a row. Of course, one of those was with the White Sox, 1 and 2. His pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. He joined Hall of Famers Lefty Gomez and Robin Roberts with the 3 consecutive All-Star starts. Looking for a K. Won't get it on that one. But he has 8 of them tonight. He has allowed only 3 hits. Red Sox with a big shift on, and Nunez, who was instrumental in the scoring last inning in shallow right field. A 2-2. Could not tempt him. So pitch count up to 96. Morrison gives him a tough at bat for a left-hander. And a payoff pitch. Down he goes. Huge swing, and he fans on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
And that's how you strike out Morrison. You go upstairs with the fastball, and that's exactly what Sale does right here. He's got that big uppercut swing, and you know, most of the time when they get ahead of him, they try to elevate that fastball, especially if you got something on it and you pick up the strikeout.
Number 9 going up. Adrianza will be next, 2 away, as he closes in on 100 pitches. Adrianza with a strikeout, and he's also taken ball 4. Chris Sale trying to improve to 12-4. His ERA has actually gone down tonight, obviously down to 2.05. It was already a minuscule 2.13 to lead the American League coming in. This day and age, that is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling what he's been doing.
Every time he gets to 2 strikes on a batter, the crowd begins to buzz, looking for that K. The 0-2 looked like he went, and he did. That strike 3, and he gets to 10. Adrianza goes down swinging, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Sale. looking to add on to the Red Sox 2-0 lead against Lance Lynn and Minnesota on a 2-run homer from Jackie Bradley. And scored Eduardo Nunez, who had ripped a double. Xander has twice struck out against Lynn, hitting .281 with 16 home runs. In play this time, picked off though by Adrianza, and he'll get him. So that'll be out number 1. With Pierce coming up, time for a game break now, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Adam. Adam, thanks. Of course, that's a good ball club. Cleveland up by 7 on Minnesota. The Indians churning toward postseason play again. Pierce has got 0 for 1, hit by a pitch last time. With Devers on deck. Pitch count in pretty good shape here for Lynn, just 86, because he's largely stayed away from ball 4. He's only walked 1 man. As that has popped up and out of play. Same 2 clubs going at it tomorrow night, 7:10. Rick Porcello on the bump. Rick going after his 13th win. Nathan Eovaldi makes his Sox debut on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And the Red Sox will say goodbye to the Minnesota Twins until spring training in Fort Myers.
That's how fast this year's gone by. It seems like we were just in Fort Myers. That's what happens when you get 71 wins in July. Time flies.
It is so true, isn't it? Absolutely right. I imagine it's true when you're playing on a ball club, when you're following a team that wins like this, and where expectations are being exceeded. Actually,
yep,
they were sky high to begin with. What a season it has been, and a 4.5 game lead on the Yankees, who were rained out tonight. So Red Sox can gain a half a game in the standings with a victory behind Chris Sale, who has been superb again. 2-2. The Red Sox do have to win tonight to even the all-time series against Minnesota, though, at 311.
Well, that was probably part of the motivational speech prior to the ball game by Alex Cora, right?
Yeah, that was big.
We got to get back even with these guys.
Team meeting, boys. Here's the 2-2. Line drive and a base hit to right. And Pierce is out for the second time, his first hit this evening. Okay, time now to check out the results of our Dunkin' Donuts poll question. Earlier we asked you, should Major League Baseball put restrictions on defensive shifts? We hate the idea. It is being discussed in some circles, and most of you agree with us. 73%. Yep, in some corners that is being talked about. I'm not sure how you do that.
Yeah, there's been some talk about having to be on the infield dirt, but you know, suppose a guy's like a foot back on the grass. What do you have, a replay or a review to see if the, I mean, then
it gets silly. You know, that gets silly.
It really does, in my mind anyway. Unless somebody can tell me, you know, a real good reason how they can do that.
Devers 0 for 2.
Then maybe I'll think about it, but to this point I'm not even thinking about it.
TC, what do you think?
Guys, we had a conversation in studio during one of the 18 hours of rain delay coverage we had earlier this week. And the one I've heard that I find a little bit interesting isn't so much the depth, go out in the outfield if you want, but how about 2 guys on each side of second base? You can't load up everybody on one side of the infield.
So, yeah, so that's your maximum. I guess, it's another theory, and I know Rob Manfred is thinking about a lot of things to help out baseball.
TC, how do the guys in the studio feel about that?
Oh, they hated it. I was the only one singing the praises of that concept. It was me against the world. But I'm not the former player, but as a fan, anything you can do to get more balls put in play and get the game a little bit more exciting. We're in an age of strikeouts and walks and home runs.
Now, baseball is going to see more strikeouts than hits for the first time this season. Popped up in a short left. Polanco out, coming on Rosario, and a shortstop is there for the second out.
TC, I've got to go along with the guys in the studio. I'm just a strong believer that you set up that defense any way you think you can, and to me, it's up to the hitters to adjust to it.
Well, Jerry, I think that's the interesting part. They haven't, right? I mean,
no, they
I don't think this would be a conversation if guys would drop a bunt down against the shift every once in a while instead of trying to launch it over the fence.
Yeah, most of the guys that they shift on, a lot of the guys are power hitters, and it's almost like embarrassing to drop down a bunt. They're going for the downs.
Nunez with a double, a fly to center, 1 for 2, runner at first base, and 2 down. Red Sox had 2-0 in the 6th. Sandy Leon would hit next if given the opportunity. And the 1-0. That's cracked into left field on the line. Bound for a base hit. Rosario almost had that get by. Throws into second, but not in time. Pierce able to dive back in. Another good swing by Nunez tonight.
Yeah, and there's a case. We've been talking in the series about how deep they play, and if Rosario is in just maybe 5 steps, it's a hard hit ball, but he probably catches it. And see how deep he is, almost to the warning track. And that's at Fenway, that's a catchable line drive. But they elect to play deep. A lot of teams do that.
Two out, but 2 on now for Sandy Leon. He's grounded at first, fly to right, 0 for 2. Trying to take advantage now. Lance Lynn with a pitch count at 97. They have activity in the bullpen. With Pierce at second, Nunez on at first. We did see Ryan Brazier throwing a little bit earlier, and he's still out there. And I think another sign that Alex Cora is really trusting this guy. It's a tight game, starting to move toward the later stages, and he's got him up. He threw a perfect 9th inning with a strikeout last night. Brazier has been unscored upon in 7 or 8 appearances so far. But Leon looking to give Chris Sale a little bit of breathing room, a little bit more here with 2 on and 2 out. Stopped by Garber. Jackie Bradley, who has socked a home run in the monster seats, is on deck. One more pitch in the dirt, and it'll be with the bases loaded. And they may go to the pen. Here's the 3-0. And a strike. Taken all the way. They run away in Baltimore. They're in the 3rd inning, in fact. After a lengthy delay, they're tied 1-1. Tampa Bay and the Orioles, as Taylor Rogers, the left-hander, is loosening. (3-1). Got a piece of it.
Yeah, I think one way or the other, regardless, this will be the last hit of the game for Lynn.
Yeah, he's at 102 pitches, a lefty going in the bullpen with Bradley on deck. Season high is 118. They let their starter Gibson last night. Paul Molitor let him go 120 pitches. Pitched a terrific game. Runners will be on the move. Pierce at second, Nunez at first with 2 down and a full count. There's a shot to the alley. Rosario is there though, and he'll make the catch in the gap. Well hit, but 2 stranded. 2-0 Boston. Local New England Honda dealers around here. We Honda. Sox up 2-0 going to the 7th inning. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Tom Caron. And in the green room, one Tim Wakefield, Red Sox Hall of Famer. And Wake, what are your thoughts about this idea about limiting shifts or eradicating them?
You know, I'm with the Rim Dog on this one. If the guys are dumb enough to not hit away from the shift, then it's more power to the club that's shifting. I mean, the whole point as a pitcher is to try to get as many outs as possible. And if they have the data that's telling me that, you know, guys aren't going to hit the ball the opposite way, then I want all my infielders and outfielders on one side to try to get an out, and I'm going to pitch accordingly to that.
I remember, Wake, when you were pitching, you used to like your right fielder, especially with right-handed hitters, up to play shallow. That was almost a shift for you. Yeah, it was a shift for me because throwing a knuckleball, it was the opposite opposite outfielder from the hitter. So if a right-hander was up, I wanted the right fielder in as far as possible because I got a lot of swing and like little duck farts into right field or into left field. And I always used to hate it. They dropped in because I felt like back then we didn't have the data of the spray charts, and that kind of came in later in my career, and I was able to use that accordingly to move those outfielders on the corners in.
Kepler's going to dive into second base with a double. Wake, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Weighing in, I think it's 100% former players just don't like the idea at all.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 100%, but I just don't see a need for it, nor unless, like I said, somebody give me a really good explanation on why you're doing it and how this is going to work. I don't see how you can change it. Well, Brazier just gave up a double. He's been unscored upon in 7 appearances with the Red Sox, but in some quick trouble. With Grossman the batter, Red Sox trying to protect a 2-0 lead here. We've come to the 7th inning. Chris Sale stepping aside after 6 innings. And a cut and a miss by Grossman, who's gone 0 for 1 with a walk.
Sale was terrific once again. No runs, 3 hits. He struck out 10 and left with a 2-0 advantage.
And that long 4th inning that he had, where he had the walk, the hit batter, and walk. A lot of pitches in that inning, and that probably cost him an extra inning here, you know, the 7th inning later on in the game. That's why he just hates walking people, as most pitchers do. No pitchers like walking anybody.
But Kepler would lead off double here off Brazier. Here's the 0-1. 2 runs on 6 hits for the Red Sox, nothing across on 4 hits for Minnesota. Brazier spent all of last year pitching in Japan. Is 1-1. Hard hit foul. So this one into the hands of the bullpens. Sandy Leon out. Quick chat here with Brazier. Grossman will be followed by Jake Cave, the rookie outfielder, who's gone 0 for 2. Best the Red Sox will be able to do tonight is gain half a game on New York, because the Yankees were rained out in a game in Kansas City earlier. So a win in the Sox would be 5 up again. Here's the 1-2. Chopper on the infield. Brazier took a look at third. He'll fire on to first. Close play, but got him. Into third, though, is Kepler.
Good composure there by Brazier, you know, to check third base and then spin around to make an accurate throw to first base. Did not panic on it. Picks up the out at first base, but the Twins do get a man in third now with less than 2 outs.
The rookie Cave is grounded out, struck out. That was against Sale. In fact, struck out with the bases loaded after a pretty good battle in that 4th inning that Jerry was talking about. But they left him loaded.
And tied on the corners, back in the middle of the infield. I'm sure the runner at third is instructed, anything to second and short, you score.
Kepler runs pretty well, too. Ground ball. Here comes Pierce, and now picked. Nobody's going to get it. It's going to roll into right. The run comes in to score. Cave taking off. Betts throwing, and not going to get him. Run in to make it 2-1. Nobody made the play on the right side of the diamond.
Well, you see what happened there is the ground ball. Before the pitch was made, Pierce, who was playing in, then started to creep back. And as he creeps back, he tries to make the play on this ball on a backhand, lets it go for Nunez, but I don't think Nunez saw the baseball. The way he reacted. Now see him, now watch Pierce go back. He's going to go back. He's trying to fake the man at third base. Now ball goes in that direction. Run's going to score. But I think what happened is he also blocked out Nunez on the play, and he couldn't see the baseball. And the run comes in to score. You got a 2-1 ball game.
That'll be an error on Nunez. Cave does get an RBI, so it's a 1-run game for the 2nd straight night. Runner down to second, and only 1 away. Polanco, the batter, 1 for 3 with a base hit, couple of Ks as well. So the error leading to a run. And the 0-1 pitch to Polanco.
That's kind of a helpless feeling. I've been there. I mean, you know, when the first baseman ranges to his right and can't get to the ball, and you partially lose it. You can't see it. And I think that's what happens here. You can see with Pierce, he just backs right off right there, and that's the spot where I think Nunez lost it, or he thought Pierce was going to make the play on it.
First run charged to Brazier since he was called up from the minors. Here's the 0-2. He checked his swing on the slider. Not a bad looking pitch, but he did not get the call. So the Twins on the board for the first time here in the 7th inning, and they have the tying run at second base. And it's 2-2. Brazier named to the 2018 International League All-Star team with the Paw Sox. He had 14 saves. And the 2-2 to Jorge Polanco. Broken bat toward the middle. Nunez slipped a little bit, throws low, safe at first base. Into third, stopping there is Cave. Looked like there was a little bit of give there as he went to plant.
Yeah, and a nice scoop at first base because that run would have scored by Pierce. There you see the backhanded play right there, and then as he plants, you can see a little slip by his back foot. That makes the ball bounce, and the runner safe at first base. Strange inning.
Really, very much. First and third. That's a base hit. And now their top hitter really in tonight's lineup, Eddie Rosario. He's gone 1 for 3 with a single, but he's hitting .308 with 19 home runs. So this is a danger zone. A run in. Two hits and an error. And Hembry getting loose in the bullpen. And Brazier trying to get out of it without any more runs, and drives that one in there at 97. 0-1.
I mean, this all started defeating the shift with an opposite field hit by Kepler.
Yep, he has come in to score. And they're looking for more, first and third. Pierce has to hop over Polanco.
Polanco getting some attention. He's got 3 steals. Caught one time. And there's Pierce with some fancy footwork.
Oh-1. Hard hit, snagged by Pierce, throws down to second, on to first, and got him. That's a double play. Boy, Pierce had to do some dancing in that inning. The double play retiring the side. Minnesota's runner at second has not left the bag. Polanco sprawling there, and then he started bracing for contact, which never came.
I think that they're looking at second base. Was Bogarts on the bag? Yes, he did tag it. He came back down and tagged the bag, and then what a play by Pierce at first base. He had first base covered.
So he sure did, and it winds up a double play to retire the side. 2-1 Red Sox.
Well, two real good plays right there. First of all, Bogart's catching the ball, coming back down on the bag, and the return throw as Pierce. Here's the tag at second base. Now Pierce has got first base totally covered. I mean, you talk about covering the bag. He's got it totally covered. He just worried about getting hit in the head with a spike.
Yeah, had every reason. Craftsman, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox. Some serious dance moves there.
Yeah, that was an unusual inning right there.
So here's Taylor Rogers, the lefty. In his 43rd appearance, he takes over for Lance Lynn. Red Sox still in the lead, although a slender one-run advantage. Jackie Bradley provided a 2-0 lead with a 2-run bomb in the 5th inning up into the monster seats. Twins have come back to get one. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Betts on deck, and then Benintendi. So a night where the bullpen is going to be thoroughly tested. 1-2 to count. Alex Cora all smiles watching his first baseman put on a little bit of a show there moments ago. Steve Pearce, 1-2, and fouled away. Time for the carrying the freight moment, brought to you by Old Dominion.
Allen runs tonight coming off the bat of Jackie Bradley Jr. Opposite field home run up into the monster seats. Number 8 on the season for Bradley.
Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Bidding for win number 72 tonight. Jackie's been right in the thick of it. Oh, what a gorgeous shot, huh?
Wow.
The moon over Fenway in July. 2-2. And a wave and a miss. He will strike out. Jackie Bradley is 2 for 3 tonight. Top of the order now, Mookie Betts. After the game, stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Rodenheiser Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric, with Adam, Tim, and Steve. And in the pregame, they highlighted on the Rodenheiser Heat Zone. Chris Sale, last 5 starts, as hot as can be. Robbie Grossman in his career against Chris, not quite as hot, 2 for 13, 7 Ks. Now they're doing tonight. Well, Sale was terrific. Grossman 0 for 2, and delighted that Chris Sale isn't pitching anymore tonight. Mookie 0 for 2 with a walk. He does have a stolen base. Number 1 in the big leagues at .344 with 24 homers. Matt Barnes is up. He's been warming and ready to enter the 0-2 to Betts. Made him dance out of the way. Mookie did hit a home run on Wednesday, but it didn't count because the rains washed all the stats away in Baltimore, so otherwise he'd be at 25 and counting. JD Martinez lost what would have been number 32. And a fly to center field. That's well hit, but not deep enough. Cave is there and out of the warning track. 2 down. This summer, Dunkin's got ice cream inspired iced coffee in the flavors you love: pistachio, cookie dough, and butter pecan. Stop by and grab your favorite. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. It's a limited time offer. They've got Hildenberger going in the bullpen, a right-hander, and Benintendi to climb in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. So probably if Benintendi gets on, you'll see the right-hander for Martinez. Red Sox ahead 2-1.
pretty live fastball for Rogers as he's got it up there 95, 96 miles an hour. There's the shift on Benintendi. Lefty against lefty doesn't matter. Still have the shift on.
Benintendi with the 14 home runs. He does have 3 against left-handers. Been kind of a quiet night from so far, but coming into play in 24 plate appearances since the All-Star break, he had reached in 11 of them. Could not contain himself. Down he goes on a swing and a miss for strike 3. That's all for the Red Sox in the 7th. Is said love is now bigger than ever this summer. Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service, and by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. 8th inning coming your way from Fenway in a tight one. Red Sox leading Minnesota 2-1. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Tom Caron. Very comfortable night here at the ballpark after a humid day. And Matt Barnes now doing the pitching. That took his 3rd loss of the year last night, when an inning and a third gave up an earned run. And what was a 2-1 game then. Twins would go on to win 2-1. He's going to have the heart of the order here now, but a routine ground ball to Xander Bogaerts, backing up a little bit. Guns to get him. 1 away on 1 pitch. Good start for Barnes. Time for quality starts now, brought to you by BioFreeze.
Take a look at 5 strikeouts from Sale. High fastball that time. Slider down and in, which is a very good pitch for him tonight. Fastball again on the inside part of the plate to Dozier. Fastball upstairs to Morrison. And then the breaking ball again. Dealing.
BioFreeze pain relief that works. 10 Ks for Sale over 6 innings, just 3 hits. And no runs while he was in the game. Garver is 0 for 3. And Mr. Kimbrough beginning to loosen up for the save opportunity. Got his 32nd save on Monday night. A ball, a strike on Garver. Minnesota pulled the trigger on a deal that had been rumored for a while, and then they dealt Eduardo Escobar, their DH, to Arizona right before the game. He was in the first starting lineup that Paul Molitor put out. They had to scratch him, obviously, and send him on his way to the Diamondbacks. It's a big bat for them.
You know, we showed you Kimbrel warming up in the bullpen right now, and I think the reason for that is if Barnes gets in any trouble, it may be more than a 3-out save tonight for Kimbrel. And normally he would not be throwing till the bottom of the 8th inning.
And Barnes is now falling behind 3-1 on Garver. And that's in there for a strike.
That's a little bit of a gift right there, but Barnes will take it.
That's one of those you hit the mitt. Joe West likes it as a strike. So 3-2. Red Sox 6 hits. The Twins have been held to 5. So the payoff pitch from Matt.
Got good velocity, 98 with his fastball tonight.
Minnesota did not score when Chris Sale was in the game over 6 strong innings, but they did get a run off of Brazier last inning. 2 hits and a key error in that inning. And they finally got on the scoreboard. Ground ball behind first, but foul down the line. Game time tomorrow night, 7:10. Rick Porcello against Jake Odorizzi. Porcello 12-4, a .393 earned run average. He's coming off 6 shutout innings at Baltimore, where he allowed only 6 hits and fanned 6. So he'll be pitching in game 3. Here's the 3-2. Got a piece. Tomorrow's starters brought to you by local New England Honda dealers. Around here, we Honda. And Odorizzi 4-6, ERA of 4.37. Another 3-2 pitch to Mitch Garver. Oh, he came back with a breaking ball and he put him away. A dandy of a curve to fan him.
Yeah, last thing Garver was thinking about was the breaking ball in that situation, and he got a good one from Barnes. Kind of a funny looking swing by Garver. Swings right on top of that breaking ball, and out comes Cora. And as we expected, we're going to see Kimbrel, I believe, for trying to get a 4-out save.
And Barnes gets 2 men. He will step aside. Alex Cora wants to go to the closer right here in the 8th inning with a 2-1 lead. We are going to take the break as well. Kimbrel is coming on with 2 down in the 8th inning, and the base is empty for Minnesota, and we'll be back with more in just a moment. realtor of the Boston Red Sox. Rodenheiser Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric. And by Snell Golf, tour quality golf balls at an affordable price. Red Sox head 2-1. Alex Cora deciding to bring his closer in early with 2 down in the 8th inning. So it would be a 4-out save. It's Logan Morrison on against Kimbrel now. Although Barnes just got 2 relatively quick outs. So we'll see how this works out tonight. And Mauer has come to the on-deck area. Kimbrel with save number 32 on Monday against the Orioles. Needed only 14 pitches. He's converted 23 consecutive saves since the 10th of May. This matchup has favored Kimbrel in the past in a very big way. Morrison is 0 for 9 off him with 6 Ks. He's fallen behind here 2-0. Bases empty. The appeal, no swing. 3-0. Mauer waiting on deck. And the 3-0. And he walked him on 4 straight. So Morrison is on, representing the tying run for Minnesota. And Mauer will hit in the 6th spot for Adrianza. 284, 3 home runs, just over 2,000 career hits on his 15th season. Although he has never played in a World Series. And Kimbrel delivers, and a high fly ball into left field, but not terribly deep. Benintendi right there, and that is out number 3. 1 man left in the middle of the 8th. Sox up by 1. And this young lady came up with a sign for Jerry to sign, asking her dad to buy cotton candy. And then Jerry gave her the 5, and off she went.
That's Kaylee from Norwell having her second cotton candy of the night.
and couldn't be happier. Morrison's going to stay in the game and play left field. Rosario now at third base. And Mauer now in at first base. Hildenberger, the pitcher, delivers ball one. So underway here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Several changes here for Paul Molitor's Twins, who trailed the Red Sox 2-1 late. Red Sox looking for a little bit more of a cushion here. Martinez 1 for 3, a single. He's also flied to right and struck out. And he'll be followed by Xander Bogaerts and then Steve Pearce. For the Red Sox, 2 runs on 6 hits and an error. And for Minnesota, 1 run, 5 hits and no errors. Another tight one between these two. Craig Kimbrell already in the game. And was able to get that third out in the 8th inning on a routine fly ball.
Minnesota's really played the Red Sox tough this season.
They did. They took 2 out of 3 there at Target Field and won last night in game 1. And another one tooth and nail this evening. Waved at and missed. Down he goes on the slider. 1 away.
On an old New Nesson clubhouse, we're having fun outside at Fenway, and they're going inside the makings of a baseball. Catch it all on Nesson Clubhouse Sunday morning at 11:30, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
Xander Bogaerts 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice and grounded to third. Oh, look at that muscle.
Yeah, look at that.
But you're done buying cotton candy tonight. It's too late anyway, right? Is it too late for cotton candy?
Yeah, they'll be up till 5 o'clock in the morning, bouncing off the walls.
Yes. I grew up with 3 brothers. We would literally bounce off the walls. Bounder, Rosario tested at third. But sets down Xander Bogaerts, so 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. Next man in will be Steve Pearce, who's had a really interesting night. He's been hit by a pitch. He has a base hit, but more defensively with all the crazy plays we saw involving him at first. And he's handled them well. They will shift on him. 3 men stacked up on the left side. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Red Sox can gain a half a game tonight because the Yankees were washed out in their home game against Kansas City. That's the 9th rainout of the year for the Yankees. 9.
Wow. We've been very fortunate so far this year as far as rainouts go.
Big time.
Especially that weather we had early in the season.
Yeah, the stuff we had at Fenway, in those early days of April, and it lasted into May.
Yes.
Bitter cold days and nights. Red Sox were able to play through those. They won so many of those games, which was impressive. Awful weather, and yet they were able to play. The Yankees continually rained out again today for the 9th time. 1-2 hammered foul.
Well, this is the play that we were talking about a couple of innings ago, where Bogaerts tags second, throws the first. They get the double play, and look at Pearce, just covers, no place for the runner to go except jumped over his head.
Our high strength steel play brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado. Upstairs 2-2. Devers on deck. Should it get that far? We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nobody on base. 2-1 Sox. And that's going to drift inside to fill up the count. Devers may yet get a chance to bat in the inning. Great big crowd on a Friday night looking on in the 3-2. A wave and a miss struck him out. Red Sox go quietly. Kimbrel going back out for the 9th inning. 2-1 Boston.
Monday and Tuesday, it's an interleague bout when the Sox
Leading 2-1. This is the 17th time as a member of the Red Sox that the ball club has asked Craig Kimbrel to get at least 4 outs. 5th time this year, and he's 1-0 with 3 saves, an ERA of 0.00. So it's been working out here in 2018. Here's Kepler to lead off in the 9th inning, and that is strike 1 at 96. Kepler has scored the only run for the Twins in this one after a leadoff double in the 7th inning. It was after Chris Sale had departed. Into left on the move, Benintendi for out number 1. Shop Jordan's Furniture now and save twice the sales tax on anything you buy. Get up to 60 months no interest with equal payments and no minimum. See Jordans.com for details. So a quick out in the 9th. We'll bring up Grossman. 0 for 2 with a walk. Brazier and Barnes have worked in this one. Barnes got first 2 out in the 8th inning before giving way to the Red Sox all-star closer. In there at 98. Kimbrel getting the bottom third of the order here in the top of the 9th. They do appeal. Third base umpire says no swing. Marty Foster. With a win, the Red Sox would improve to 72-33. With Rick Porcello going tomorrow night. Over 37,000 here this evening A Friday night at Fenway. And Kimbrel's 2-1. Right through there, 97, 2-2. The rookie Cave on deck and a 2-2 home. He's filled it up. He did walk a man in the 8th inning. Chris Sale went 6, 10 strikeouts, 3 hits, no runs. And he can win it. And Kimbrel with the 3-2 to Grossman. And he walks him. So tying run is on again for Minnesota. Our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Lynn had good command tonight. He only walked 1 man. Sale was better though. Jackie Bradley hit a 2-run homer. And Nunez has had a very good night at the plate with a pair of hits. But not a lot of offense in this one again. Red Sox 6 hits. Minnesota held to 5. Cave 278, 3 home runs. That is away for ball 1. Gave the man who reached on an error back in the 7th inning when they got their run. That was a key play, and that pitch rolled a bit. Count 2-0. So at the moment, the Red Sox closer is not razor sharp.
No, the control's been a little bit off. He walked the first batter he faced when he came into the game, walking the last batter, and now falling behind 2-0.
Trying to lock back in with 1 down and 1 on. 97 past him with the elevated Swifty, and the count 2-1.
Daniel Levangie right down the middle. Throw the fastball. Give him that sign right down the middle.
Grossman a short lead at first. Here's the 2-1. That's a strike.
That's barely a strike too, picking up that outside corner. Big pitch right there.
One out, 1 on, 9th inning, 1-run game. And a 2-2 to Cave. He spoiled it. Cave made his major league debut back in May.
He put up on a pretty big battle with Chris Sale earlier in the ballgame back in the 4th, but Sale ended up winning that battle by striking him out.
Yeah, with the bases loaded.
Yep.
That was a heck of a fight. 2-2 from Kimbrel. Spoiled another one. 99 that time. So they will do it again on 2-2 with 1 away. These first 2 nights of this series have been grinders. Grossman leading at first. 2-2 on the way again. He's filled it up. Polanco on deck. Duke and Fernando Rodney throwing in the bullpen for Minnesota in case. Red Sox almost got to Rodney last night. Loaded the bases in the ninth. 3-2 coming. Liner into left. Benintendi there. Sinking liner, but he's got it a bit off to his right. 2 down.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. Adam, Wake, and Steve will break down key plays of the game, and you'll hear from Chris Sale and Alex Cora. Who but WB Mason celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
Guys doing their homework, getting ready for the show. So with 2 away, Polanco's the batter. He's had a pretty good night with a pair of singles. He's also struck out twice. And Kimbrel trying to make him the last man to swing tonight. Red Sox ahead 2-1 with 2 down in the ninth.
Tell you, Benintendi's been positioned perfectly out there on a couple of occasions here late in the ball game. Line drives out his way, able to make catches. 3 since Kimbrel's been in the game.
Polanco, switch hitter, hitting .282. That's the strike. Curveball right on the corner. 0-1. Rick Porcello tomorrow night in Game 3 against Jake Odorizzi. Kimbrel's 0-1 home. Bounced it. That scoots away from Leone, and the runner's going to advance. Grossman up to second on the wild pitch. So they've got the tying run at second base with 2 down.
Yeah, big play here. The breaking ball that's going to bounce and right up off the chest protector of Sandy Leone. Absolutely nothing you can do about that bounce.
Kimbrel called on for a 4-out save tonight. Now really has to lock in on Polanco to count 1 ball and 1 strike as those two talk it over. So a tense ninth. That was certainly the case last night. Grossman in scoring position. Here's the 1-1 to Jorge Polanco. Pop foul back out of play. So Kimbrel is 1 strike away from putting this one into the win column. And a 1-2 pitch. Bounced it. And stopped by Sandy Leone. Runner holding at second.
Trying to finish the game off with the breaking ball, and that time bouncing it, but Leone able to block it. Keep it in front of him. Been a tough 4 outs right here for Kimbrel.
It has been a fight. Crowd wants to put it in pictures. And end the night with a W. 2-2 now. Knocked up the line, and again the runner Grossman has to hold, and the count 3-2. And went back to the hook. So 3-2 on Polanco. Rosario is on deck, their top hitter. This one's like pulling teeth. And the 3-2. And he walks strikes him. So that's going to put runners at first and second. He's walked 3 men since entering the game. 2 on and 2 out. That'll bring out Dana Levangie with Rosario about to step in. Kimbrel's had difficulty landing his fastball when he's needed to.
Yeah, also the breaking ball. It's been a very difficult night for him. You know, he's been fighting his pitches tonight. It looks like not getting that pinpoint control. We see an awful lot out of him with both pitches.
So Grossman down to second. Polanco on at first. Rosario on the night is 1 for 4, a base hit way back in the first inning, but hitting .307, 19 homers, 62 RBI. This is something you almost never see when Kimbrel's in the game. Activity in the bullpen. Thornburg beginning to loosen. So here comes his 28th pitch since he came on in the 8th. And fouled away. You know Rosario is going to be very aggressive.
Yeah, he, as we said earlier in the ball game, he does not get cheated.
Craig's season high in pitches is 33, so he's closing in on that. He's walked 2 men in this inning. The 0-1 to Rosario. High fly ball left center field. That one headed for the wall. It's up there and it's off the monster. Grossman is in. Here comes Polanco. He is in to score. Rosario strikes. And the Minnesota Twins on that 2-base hit have taken the lead. Wow.
I think the shocking thing for Kimbrel's appearance tonight has been the fact that he's walked so many. 3 walks in the ball game. You knew Rosario was up there to make good solid hard contact, and he got a fastball away that he takes up off that left field wall. 2 runs come across, and all of a sudden the Twins have the 3-2 lead.
Oh, he's got 64 RBI. He's their main man. And he hit a shot high off the green to drive in Grossman and Polanco. And Fenway is stunned at the moment, but here's Dozier coming up. So the Sox are trailing. 3-2 ninth inning. For the first time tonight. So no victory for Chris Sale as Craig Kimbrel, a rarity for him, blows the save. Now he's just trying to hang on and make sure it's a 1-run game going to the bottom of the 9th inning.
And who are we going to see again? Fernando Rodney
throwing in their bullpen as we speak. Devers, Nunez, Leon, and Jackie Bradley if anybody reaches. Alex Cora did tell Tom Caron that Mitch Moreland would be available tonight. When he was asked point blank, is he available? Alex said, yes, he's available. Did have a smile on his face. Dozier 226, 16 home runs, very good power, but hitless tonight. He's 0 for 4. And a 1-2 softly hit. Nunez will gather that and throw on to get it. But Minnesota has jumped into the lead. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 3-2 Twins. is light.
Well, Rosario getting that ball up on the wall. Fastball away. He just goes with it. High off the left field wall. Drives in 2 runs. That quickly, the Twins, late in the ball game, the 9th inning, take the 1-run lead.
For Craig Kimbrell, it's a blown save there. 3-2 Minnesota. They will go to the bullpen now and bring on the 41-year-old closer Fernando Rodney, who almost gave it up last night. He got wild, as he typically does against the Red Sox. Has a 5.62 career ERA in 43 games against Boston. Devers will lead it off. He's gone 0 for 3. Then it's Nunez and Leon scheduled to bat. Out in front on his changeup. Devers is grounded to second. He's grounded to short, and he's popped out to short.
Yeah, last night we had him as high as 97 with its fastball, and then he also that changeup.
One ball and 1 strike. The Twins have blown a lot of saves themselves over the course of the season, but since the 1st of May, Rodney is 19 for 21 in save opportunities. He loaded the bases in the 9th inning last night, but got out of it, striking out Jackie Bradley in the end. And the count 2-1. Three runs, 6 hits for Minnesota. 2 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Red Sox. Shot deep to right, backing up Kepler at the bullpen and can't get it. It's into the pen and it's gone. That was an absolute laser beam, and the game is tied at 3. What a bullet by Devers, his 15th home run, and the Red Sox quickly tie it in the 9th.
Well, I'd love to see the exit velocity on that one. That was an absolute bullet on a fastball right down Broadway. And a line shot. Watch Kepler go back, crashes hard into the wall, but the ball goes into the bullpen.
Just out of his reach, and he paid the price. Man, was that hit.
Oh, that was a rocket, a laser beam.
15 home runs. Rafael Devers in the clutch has tied it at 3-3. And the batter will be Nunez, who has doubled, singled, and flied out tonight. I don't know if Rafael can hit one harder than that.
I mean, that ball, it was just a line shot the whole way.
Yeah, never got very high off the ground.
There was no arc on it at all.
And we are tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the 0-2 to Nunez. Let's look at the home run.
Yeah, one more look at it, and it's just a line drive that continues to carry as it goes into that Red Sox bullpen. Devers peeking out there. He still wasn't sure the ball was gone.
Fouled away as he spun him around. Leon on deck.
Now we mentioned, earlier in the ball game, Fernando Rodney. I mean, nothing comes easy for him against the Red Sox, and it's happened here with nobody out.
Well, he's had a very long and successful career, but the Red Sox have been trouble for him. Devers, big time trouble here in the 9th. So the Red Sox gave up the lead. Minnesota scoring twice in the top of the 9th inning on the 2-base hit by Rosario, and now have tied it and trying to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning on a Friday at Fenway. The exit velocity, by the way, on the home run by Devers, 112 miles an hour.
That's pretty good.
386 feet into the bullpen. It got out fast. 2-2 on Nunez. He had a big double in the 5th inning. 0-0 at the time. He would score. A couple of batters later on a homer by Jackie Bradley, and a swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. He's always had that changeup, and he fans Nunez. 1 man gone.
And we'll throw it at any time too. You never know when Rodney's going to feature that changeup to you. The ball coming back down and inside to Nunez. The off-speed pulling him.
Brings up Sandy Leon, who has grounded out, flied out, and lined out tonight. 0 for 3. And in there for strike 1, 94 miles an hour, right at the knee. Tied up 3-3, 9th inning. Jackie Bradley on deck. One man gone. And it'll be 2-1 now on Sandy Leon. Red Sox trying to prevent a 3-game losing skid. And a 2-1 now from Fernando Rodney. And that'll miss for ball 3.
Yeah, throws the changeup and a fastball count, not missing, and now Leon's got that count in his favor, 3-1.
I went for it. Fastball at the top of the zone, 3-2.
Not exactly in his zone, up and away. And a hit his count, 3-1.
And payoff pitch. Little dribbler toward third. Rosario with a backhand. Cross his body. Skipped it. Got him. They ran all the way to his dugout with his momentum carrying over there and took some high fives.
Well, that's a heck of a play by Rosario and a nice play at first base also by Mauer. Rosario's been a star at the end of this game. He had a long way to go to make a play on that as they were in the shift. Next, a backhanded play and the off-balance throw to first base. The pick at first base by Mauer off the grass, which makes it a little bit easier.
Well, had the double to give them the lead, and now an outstanding defensive play. Now Jackie Bradley. Jackie tonight a single, a 2-run homer, and a strikeout. And meeting this right-hander for the 2nd consecutive night in the 9th. Mookie Betts would hit next if given the opportunity. And here comes the 0-1. He'll look at a strike. And changeup again.
Yeah, back-to-back changeups.
He may throw it again too. On 0-2.
Looks like he's gonna
skip that one up there. 1-2. Nope. Sox fans would love to see number 50 come up to bat in this inning. And Jackie Bradley has to reach to get Mookie Betts up there. That just missed apparently, and the count is 2-2.
Tried the same pitch he struck him out on last night. It was a little bit inside.
And he struck him out again. 97 miles an hour. Down he goes, but the Red Sox tie it. We're going to the 10th inning, tied 3-3. Sponsor of extra innings, and that's where we are now, going to the 10th at Fenway Park. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Tom Caron alongside. It's a 3-3 game. A lot of drama in the 9th inning, and that young man Rafael Devers pulling one into the bullpen to tie it off Fernando Rodney. Red Sox will go back to the bullpen. Thornburg coming on, and Garver the first man to face him as we go to the 10th. Garver's gone 0 for 4 as the cleanup man. He's the catcher. Grounded to third base. Devers in from the grass. He'll get him. One away.
Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll have a full recap of tonight's Sox game, plus highlights and reaction from Patriots training camp in Foxborough. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people.
The first man out, 5-3, will bring up Logan Morrison. 1 hit, 3 at bats tonight. He's also taken ball 4. Matt Belisle, the right-hander, in the bullpen now for Minnesota. Sox bullpen quiet with Thornburg now in. Last 2 appearances for Tyler have been scoreless, with 6 strikeouts in his last 4 1/3. So lately he's been very sharp. Way out in front on the curveball.
That really fooled him on the curveball that time. We'll see if they go up high with the fastball against Morrison here. There's that breaking ball. Good rotation. Great rotation on that pitch by Thornburg.
So he's had 1-2. Right through there. Caught him looking at 94. 2 fast outs in the 10th.
Well, the fastball was supposed to be inside. Instead, it goes to the outside part of the plate, and perfect pitch for a strikeout. Surprise, Logan Morrison. Shake your head, and that's about all you can do.
Brings up Joe Mauer. 0 for 1 tonight. Didn't enter the ball game until the 8th inning. American League Most Valuable Player back in 2009. One of his 3 batting title seasons. He hit .365 that season. Hit for power too. He hit 28 homers. Batted over 300 8 times. .01 coming. Kepler on deck. He's the guy who went crashing into the wall, the bullpen fence out there, trying to chase down that rocket. There's one line down the left field line, foul. Off the bat of Devers. One of the hardest hit balls was seen by a member of the Red Sox this year. And that's saying something. One and 2 on Mauer. Sox in the bottom of the 10th inning would have the top of the order up. Betts, Benintendi, Martinez. Fly ball left center. Jackie Bradley back to the warning track. He's there for the catch to retire the side. Thornburg gets him 1-2-3.
Your Dunkin' Donuts order using the Go Mobile ordering on the Dunkin' app. Place your order now and then just click I'm ready to pick up in the morning. America runs on Dunkin'.
Well, Minnesota back to the bullpen. Matt Belisle coming on. And it'll be Betts, Benintendi, Martinez. So a golden chance here for the Red Sox to put this one away. Starting with Mookie Betts, who's gone 0 for 3 this evening. Tied up 3-3, bottom of the 10th. And an all-important leadoff man is Mookie. Rally helmets are on.
You even get the manager sitting down there.
And Betts will take one in there for strike one. Mookie with a fly to right, a fielder's choice, a walk, and a fly to center. High fly ball. This one is way back. Kiss it goodbye deep into the night. The Red Sox walk it off. Mookie Betts, your final 4-3. walk-off special. In 10 innings, the Red Sox win a thriller. Been doing a lot of that lately, hasn't he? That unforgettable grand slam, and now a walk-off shot to win it.
Wow, who else would you want at the plate in that situation, right? Leading off the inning, Mookie Betts. He gets a fastball middle in, and that's a place you do not want to throw Mookie Betts unless you want trouble.
Trouble with a capital T. Let's get out of TC. A double. That probably felt pretty good on a muggy night. TC back with the start of the game.
On a hot night like this, that probably doesn't feel too bad.
No, it's not too bad. It feels pretty good, so I'm enjoying this moment.
There haven't been a lot of nights like this where you've given up a lead and then had to battle back. How good does it feel to end it on that pitch?
It feels great. You know, a tough loss yesterday, so just to get back in the winning column is good.
You were saying it feels pretty good.
Yeah, it feels good. Just any win is huge.
Obviously, Rafi Devers just smoked that one. 112 miles an hour, the line drive. What was the mood in the dugout at that moment when that thing left the yard?
Completely changed. I mean, you know, we're positive going in. You know, we swung the bat out all right. You know, they pitched it great today. So just for us to tie it up, you know, gave us life.
We said in the last homestand that this crowd was getting louder. You could feel the electricity. What has this crowd been like over this last month here at Fenway?
The Fenway faithful, man. I love you guys. You know, you guys give us energy. You know, when you play in front of this crowd, you got to strap it on, be ready.
Thought you had 25 on Wednesday. How good does it feel to get it back tonight?
It feels good, especially in this fashion.
Congratulations, Mookie.
Thank you, sir.
Mookie Betts with a walk-off.
Well, how sweet that is. Mookie Betts, number 25, as he destroyed that pitch to win the ball game. Won a lot of games for the Red Sox here in 2018. Maybe none sweeter than that swing.
Well, you know, it was a home run night for the Red Sox, and you get into extra innings, and you're looking at the top of that Red Sox lineup coming up, and you got a feeling that somebody is going to do some damage. You pass their closer, you're getting into the other parts of the bullpen right now, and certainly Mookie Betts didn't waste any time. And look at Brock Holton, the manager. I mean, just you know, these are the kind of moments that are so special for a ball club.
So that's going to be something now. It's the helmet around backwards, the rally helmet for Brock Holt, and a shower, the celebration for Mookie Betts. What a night for Mookie. Absolutely spanked it. A no-doubter, and the Red Sox win it in 10. Adam?